Gadget looking for the opportunity to get back to the finals versus Boru and avenge the reverse sweep that he faced in the winners finals.
Think
And
this
we're
is going
off.
to look a lot like HQ versus Jabba Job, where HQ just has to try to win through consistency.
Absolutely. Gadget certainly has the speed advantage here, but he is certainly prone to make mistakes also, as we've seen many times with him.
HQ with a slight lead, I think. Yep,
Yeah,
just about
very
1 second.
even, but just a tiny lead. Pretty dense part up top here, but not a problem for either player.
Both players still within a second going into the third board. I think HQ having a slightly more difficult time here.
Ooh, a mine count up here in the top middle. Definitely took HQ a tiny bit longer. But Gadget
Yep,
blasting and giving HQ a tiny advantage here. Not enough to rest on, but something to keep him in the match.
yep, that was about a 10-second swing for Gadget. Both players finishing their boards almost at the same time.
HQ holding a tiny lead, 1 second.
Gadget starting his last board with the HQ 2 seconds behind. She's going to have to turn on the gas here.
Unmatched speed from Gadget. And that's the end of round one.
With a 15-second ender.
Do you get a timer on that round?
Nah, I totally forgot.
Oh, shoot. I think Gadget
I
actually
got it
dropped a
right for the
very
next one.
solid time there.
Yeah, that was extremely impressive. Beginner.
And we're off to beginner. Fun stuff. I think Gadget should have the advantage here, but hqtf did pull out the victory against Jabba on beginner.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yep.
Beginner first to six would be a very fast.
Beginner to six would be 20 seconds. Second round underway, and a pretty difficult beginner board, all things considered, to start it off. Same with the second board. And now there's a blast from Gadget, so we will lose our parity.
Still slightest of slight leads for Gadget with that blast.
Gadget holding his lead just by a few seconds. Speed is king here, and blasting is not very punished, so I'd be surprised if Gadget ever does lose this lead.
Gadget more than a board ahead. Ooh, a blast from HQ. And a blast from Gadget. HQ still down about a full board though.
Board and a half at this point. 7, almost 8-second board for HQ. Definitely was a bit
Gadget's
rough time-wise.
pulling away here.
Last for
Gadget blasting his
Gadget,
19th game
but
twice.
18th game. But yes, he is getting close. Now on to the last game, and it should be a quick end for him. There we go.
A minute and 58 seconds.
Honestly, a little bit slower than I expected for beginner, but we did see quite a few blasts here.
I was going to say, I don't think we're going to be seeing beginner. HQ chooses expert.
The classic failsafe. I think HQ is hoping Gadget will get deep into a board before blasting, and then he'll be able to at least wrestle a bit of control in this series.
Very different pathing from these two. Gadget appears to be going slightly faster.
Bit of tricky stuff on the left side of this board. Nothing quite obvious yet.
HQ handling that left side really well. Honestly, HQ might be leading.
I would say HQ is probably slightly in the lead on this one, just because there's a lot of stuff to get through on the left side here.
Don't think it'll take him too long to clean up that middle section. Ooh. Not a good corner.
Uh-oh.
Might be a screen peek time.
I think it is for both players. All right, both of them actually moving on roughly the
In a
same time to the second
second.
board. Oh, both of them blasting and moving on to the next board, so we're still at parity board-wise.
Gadget looks like he really trying to come back here. Ooh, slow middle section.
Does HQ realize
H
he's missing one
HQ.
cell in the top left?
I think it'll be easy enough to spot if it gets to it.
HQ might
Oh,
get to the
here we
end,
find
but he has
out.
to make sure he finds it.
Oh,
And he
oh,
finds it. All right.
whew,
And
that was
that's
close.
one win in the bag for HQ. It won't be a perfect sweep for Gadget.
And now he's gonna have to try to win 2 points off Gadget on Gadget's picks. Gadget taking it back to beginner.
This is something that worked out for him last time, but we do have to remember that HQ did beat the presumably faster opponent Jabba in the last series on beginner.
Gadget starting to build his lead just slowly, as we would expect.
As long as we don't see a long string of blunders, though that is one from Gadget, then Gadget should be the favorite here.
HQ down by less than a second right now. HQ actually in the lead.
Yep, just barely.
Big blast from Gadget. It's good for HQ. Not a huge lead, but anything helps.
HQ desperately trying to save his tournament life.
Halfway through, HQ up by 1 board. Gadget shrinking that deficit.
Oh, HQ having a very rough time on that board. But Gadget immediately
Oh,
blasting. HQ can capitalize here. We're coming down to the
they were
very last few boards.
they were about even there, and at 2 seconds or so, the Gadget lost. Probably gonna
Gadget
make
just
it. Probably
repeatedly
gonna break it.
blasting. This is exactly what HQ was hoping for consistency-wise.
Both
HQ on the
players on their last
final
board.
board. Both on the last board. HQ blast and Gadget pulls it out. Oh my
Oh,
god. By the narrowest of margins.
great.
Not quite one click, but as close as you can get otherwise. Probably just a few clicks away. HQ blasting on that final board gives Gadget the win, back to facing Boru in the grand finals.